Well guys, welcome back again. It's another great day to do some habitat work, or attempt to anyways. We had some really warm temperatures here recently, so I think the ground temperature is up high enough and I don't see any freezing temps. I see it getting close, but nothing below freezing here in the next 2 weeks. And it will be in March in the next 2 weeks. This is the 15th of February right now, so I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do some planting and then hopefully cut down some more trees to make some bedding, and just finish off my plan. Try to take advantage of the time that I have this week. So one thing I'm gonna be trying to plant today is going to be this Antler King Game Changer Clover. So it's got a good mixture of stuff. I know it's supposed to be this no-till, but so I'm gonna try this. It says it's very pH tolerant for low pHs, so I am going to use some deer grow. I did get I believe 2 acres worth of deer grow, so I am going to go back there and spray on top of these while I have the opportunity, because I know that soil's got to be messed up. What the cost is and everything, I think I'm going to get more bang for my buck out of this deer grow, and we'll also get to see how it works. I used it some last year and I had some great results, but this is really going to be testing it this year, doing that. I'm doing it in a logging road or a little hidey hole food plot back in the back and some shade tolerant, hopefully with something that's pretty shade tolerant. So stick with me and I'll see you all in the woods. All right guys, so first things first, I've got my backpack sprayer. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it up. I made sure everything was out of it. I've got this little filter thing. Helps keep a lot of the junk out of there. I actually really like that. So this is 1 acre's worth right here. So being that I'm only 3/8 to 1/4 of an acre, I'm going to go ahead and just put 1/4 of this in there and then fill it up with water. Then I'll be ready to go back in the back and spray it. So this says to add 1/3 of water first. So I've got this lucky bucket. This is 2.5 gallons. It's a 4-gallon sprayer, so 2 of these should be just fine. And I've also got this real fine net. I put that over top of it because a lot of this water I'm getting is going to have junk in it. Alright, so that's roughly 1/3, give or take. So now I'm going to take this. It's full about here, it looks like. So that's probably pretty close. We get a little bit more. Alright. So that's not quite half of the bottle. So I went a little over. So as you can see, that filled it up to almost 3 gallons. Now I'll take my net, my dirty chocolate milk water. Boom. You can see I'm up to about where 4 gallons would be. So I'll go ahead and show you all why I put that net on there. So you can see all this junk that's up in here is nasty looking stuff up in there. Bugs and all sorts of crap. So keep that out of your sprayer. Your sprayer should work a lot better. So now I'm going to head back to the woods and we'll start spraying, spreading and spraying. All right, so I got my seed. I got my trusty Scott spreader. It's actually been really good. It's just one of those hand spreaders that seems like it'll probably last forever. I've had some issues with the earthway spreaders, the over the shoulder ones. They usually, especially when you use lime, it eats them up real good, but this I've never had any issues with. So this is only for 1/4 of an acre. So we're pretty light on it. Left a lot of the bag left. So now I'm gonna go out through there and start spreading it. spreading the seeds done. Now we're gonna spray out this deer grow plot start and pray for some good weather and rain. So go ahead and start spraying. Plot 1 is officially sprayed. So I came in here, I spread that new seed. I actually spread some probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago also. I came in and I frost seeded this, and then I came in today. It's supposed to be like 70 something degrees here for the next couple days. And I planted this Antler King Game Changer clover on top of it. Just put a little bit to fill in any holes that I might have missed. I think it'll work. I feel good. I feel very confident that this will be a successful plot. Knock on wood. Good thing there's plenty of trees. But anyways, I'll catch you over at the next food plot. All right, guys. So I'm back here at the food plot that I just made about a week and a half ago. I didn't get in here to be able to frost seed anything, but with this nice weather, this should be all right to plant this clover as long as there's nothing too cold in the way. It's February 15th, so I'm sure we're not quite done with winter yet, but I think that this clover will be all right. If it does germinate, it shouldn't kill all of it. But being that I came back in here during the sunlight, so the last time I was in here it was a little overcast, so I couldn't quite tell if I was getting enough sunlight, and plus it is about 11 o'clock, so the sun's just going to progressively get higher, and this will be about the time that I'm going to get my sunlight for this food plot. So I can see the shadow spots where I maybe need to do some more cuts. Everything looks pretty good out here right directly behind me, but I did want to plant that little logging trail back that direction, and I can see that those evergreens that are over here, these pines, I'm going to have to cut them down. And I'm going to probably try to fold them back on the other side the opposite way, because that sunlight should be able to come. The sun will work its way across and it should get some good sun. And then once I get done with this, I'll go ahead and spray some more plot start. Got that all mixed up and should be ready to rock. All right, just got done spreading it, so time to spray. This one shouldn't be too bad. I mean, it's real tiny. But being that it's in this little nook where there was a bunch of pines, and it doesn't seem like there's been very much activity back here in a while, I think I'm really going to have to go heavy on this deer grow plot start. So I'm going to get going. That food plot has been planted, seeds down, it's been sprayed, so hopefully that soil will adjust. So now it's just a matter of clearing up a few more trees to ensure that once this canopy comes over, I'll have some more sunlight. So time to find up a chainsaw and do some select cuts. I'll tell y'all what I did. So if you can see over here behind me, I fell a few of these trees in that direction. So hopefully some sunlight will be able to get to it. It's just opened up the canopy a lot more, not having those pines in there. And then there's these real tall pines right here. You can see right here. So I took them, and I was gonna try to cut a few of them down, but they were leaning in the wrong direction, and quite honestly, I didn't feel like dragging them across, cutting them up into pieces. So what I did is I girdled about 3 or 4 of the biggest ones. So I'm hoping by doing that, I'm hoping those needles will fall off of there, and then it shouldn't be any issue getting some sunlight through there. I'm already getting broken sunlight, but I just wanted to ensure that this seed had as much help as it could get because of this crappy area that I'm trying to plant in. This one should be about done. I'm gonna set a camera up on it, see if I get any. I see some deer tracks coming through here. They're definitely curious, but I don't see any turkey tracks yet. So I'm really hoping that some turkeys come in here and kind of start picking around once the clover grows, hopefully. So I'm gonna go out through here, and there's a big hillside right here, but right here, kind of hard to tell. But this is the ridge line, and then it drops down. So the idea is that this kind of is a point right here that goes down on either side, and then I have a path already established over here that I'm hoping I can walk up, and given which direction the wind is, set up on one side or the other. But there's not a lot of trees in here for being able to set up in. So I'm gonna have to figure out which ones are going to be best for my saddle. This would probably be a saddle spot because I might not hang a permanent set over here. But I'm gonna go down over this hill and kind of find where the best bedding. It's a south-facing slope, so already it should get a lot of sun. So those deer, I hope, would like to bed on it. It seems like a lot of these deer do end up funneling down into this bottom. Whether that's because there's water down there, food, whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through and pick out some of these junk trees, fall them over, make them fall over, and then hopefully that'll get some more sunlight to the ground to create some more food. And then I'll also try to pick some spots where I can maybe hinge some nice trees that will provide browse and actually hinge correctly, and see if I can't create a few beds up in there that I know that they will be using. That way I don't have to worry about spooking them. I can, depending on the wind, come in and hunt these different spots, these different food plots. But I'm going to be using the GoPro for that because I don't want to bust my camera. So catch y'all out there in the woods. Alright guys, so as you can see, I'm down in this little bottom. My food plot's up there. And this is a nice little open bottom with some water running through it. And I can see that this is somewhat open, and there's this big tree that's, you can tell it's already pretty much, it still has buds on it, but you could tell that it's not doing too hot. So this is going to be a good one to fall. There's already branches all over the place right here, so I'm going to see if I can get that to fall down right there, and that way it'll be less competition for there's an oak right there, so that'll be less competition. Here's a dead tree. There's another big dead tree right here, so I need to make sure I watch out right here. There's a bunch of trees that are already dead up in here, so I'm thinking this would be a good spot to go ahead and start, and I can knock a whole bunch of these big ones down. And then, like I said, there's another oak. Maybe I can get some regeneration on the ground by girdling a few of these other big trees and going from there. Oh man, it wants to go. Woo-wee. That was a big one. There it goes. looks good. That looks good. I can cut a whole bunch of this holly down. I mean, the deer, deer don't use it. Go down. Boom. Nice buck rib right here too. And another one. We'll be going over to the other half of the property. Do some more work over there. I feel like I've been neglecting this side, so only way to get there is crossing the creek, so this ought to be interesting. Alright guys, so I'm in a different area of the farm now. So the way our property sets up is there's a right section that's, actually I should have it switched. There's a right section that's about 25 acres, and then there's a left section that's split by a little V property that somebody else owns. So it almost hunts as two different properties. There's this 30, 25 or 30, and then there's a 70, and then there's like a 10-acre field. So I'm back in this spot where I killed that 8-pointer this year, the smaller of the two, and this was a hot spot during the rut, and it seems like it always has been. I've killed a couple deer back in this area, and it always seems like I get pictures of them. It's just hard to get to because you have to cross the creek. So if the water's up at all, you can't really get it unless you have some hip waders or even chest waders sometimes. I mean, it's bad. But it's a transitional area. It's just a great, it's kind of open right here where we're at. There's a stand roughly 30 yards behind the camera, and then you can see it's just a straight line from where this side was logged, and then the neighbors didn't log theirs. So it's just big, heavy, they're big, hard timber, actually the north, and then to the south is our property that's just a whole bunch of little timber. So I'm gonna go through there and I'm gonna try to make some more bedding areas out there, because it seems like a lot of times those deer will be bedded right on the edge right here. So whenever you crest the hill to get into this tree stand, you blow them. So I'm trying to make them bed a little bit further back, and then I'm also want to make an area. There's a pretty good looking open area that I think I can get a food plot in, given everything goes well. But other than that, I think I'm going to go ahead and start the chainsaw up and get some cutting done while I got this nice weather. Should be good, and I'll show you all the final results. Alright y'all, so I finally got done. It's about 3 o'clock now, so that gives me about 2 hours worth of cutting. And as you can see behind me, it's still real thick right here. But if you look over in this direction, you can see there's a bunch of sunlight. I mean, this was all full. So I'll go ahead and show y'all as if we were a deer coming through here, what the idea would be. So this is as if we were deer. I went ahead and cleared this spot out a little bit so you can come through here, and there's all these trees that are on snags and everything. It's always a pain cutting something like this. I'll try going through and cutting whatever I can to get it all to fall, but it doesn't usually work that way. So you come up in here, and this is just a really big thicket. So there's a field right over in this direction that the deer do use somewhat, but once it's rifle season, you very seldom see them out there. But there's all this briars, and you can see all this growth and everything already coming up off these trees. I mean, the deer should love this stuff. So I am going to put a camera over here, see if they use it. And then over here, this was already all on the ground. I mean, this big pine tree, and it knocked over a whole bunch of stuff. So you can see there's bedding in here. There's a bunch of pine trees and everything that fell down. And it gets a good vantage point because this wind, like it is right now, comes right over my back. So if a deer wanted to, it could bed up against one of these logs, and then it could also see out in the field down in front of them. It drops down a little bit and have the wind at their back. But I'll keep continuing through. So you go through, here's an opening. So these are all hinge cut right here, so I'm hoping that the deer would like to eat on any of this regrowth that's up in here. And then I cut some stuff down right here. As you can see, these were already down, so I just went ahead and cut them right back in the same direction. And then I cut a few more, cut this big pine tree down. So it's laying right here. So the creek bottom's over here, so I'm hoping these deer will come up and either bed in here or they can come in here and feed, and then use this path right here. You know, it looks like a mess. It's all part of a plan. So I'm hoping they come up through here. They've already been coming through here, I know, because I can see where they have been scuffing up the leaves. Here's an old rub. There's another old rub. So then you cut this way, this opening. They should feel rather safe, I hope, right in here. And then hopefully cut up through this path I made out towards the tree stand. And I'm also going to hopefully put a plot down there somewhere, but that's just what I got cooking with right now. I'm hoping that I can get some sort of movement through here. Just try to hopefully focus that. I'm hoping some deer bed in here. It would be really nice if they would. So that way I can at least have somewhat of an idea of where these deer are and what winds to hunt on. Because the deer could bed just about anywhere on this property, it seems like. And they definitely like it up in this spot already. So I'm hoping to push them back a little bit further away from the tree stand so we can get in. And with the proper wind, I'm hoping that, especially during the rut, something might come up through here and push a doe towards us, and hopefully we can get a shot. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And as always, gotta get going.